The silent weight of pain. There is a kind of pain that no one else sees, a pain that doesn't shout, doesn't announce itself, doesn't demand attention, but instead hides quietly within the heart. It's the pain that settles into the silence of the night, when the world is asleep and there's no one to put on a mask for. It's the ache that lingers behind a smile, the heaviness in the chest that no words can truly explain. This is the silent weight of pain, the tears that fall in secret, the wounds that are never spoken, and the cries that never reach another's ears. Many people walk through life carrying this invisible burden. Outwardly, they seem fine, smiling, laughing, working, and living as if nothing is wrong. But inside, they are crumbling. Their silence doesn't mean they are strong. It often means they feel they have no safe place to be weak. So they hide it, convincing themselves that no one would understand, or worse, that no one would care. And so they carry it alone. But silence is heavy. It presses down on the soul, slowly breaking the spirit in ways that others cannot see. And the truth is, just because no one hears your cry doesn't mean it isn't real. Just because no one sees your tears doesn't mean they don't fall. A heart can shatter quietly, and a soul can ache even in stillness. That is the hidden reality so many live with. We live in a world that glorifies strength but misunderstands it. We are taught to be strong, to hold it all together, to hide our vulnerability so we aren't judged or rejected. But strength isn't about silence. Strength isn't about pretending. Strength is about enduring, yes, but it's also about being honest with yourself, about acknowledging the pain, even if no one else ever knows it. And yet there's something deeply human, even sacred, in this silent pain, for it reveals how deeply we can love, how deeply we can feel, how deeply we can be affected by the beauty and tragedy of life. The silent weight of pain is not a sign of weakness. It is proof of the soul's depth. It shows that we care, that we love, that we are alive enough to hurt. Still, carrying it alone can be exhausting. No one is meant to hold the entire weight of sorrow in silence. Silence can protect us for a time, but eventually it begins to suffocate us. The heart longs to be heard, even if only by God, by the universe, or by the quiet voice within. So if you have cried in silence, if you have carried a pain no one else knows, remember this: your suffering is real, your emotions are valid, and your silent tears have meaning. Even if no one sees, even if no one hears, your heart matters. And acknowledging that truth is the first step toward healing. The illusion of strength. From a young age, many of us are taught that strength means silence, that to be strong is to keep your head high, to swallow your tears, and to never let anyone see your pain. We are told, don't cry, don't show weakness, keep moving forward. And so, we learn to wear a mask of strength, even when our hearts are breaking inside. But here's the truth. What we often call strength is not strength at all. It is suppression. It is a performance we put on for the world, while our true selves remain hidden in the shadows. We convince others we are fine, while quietly battling storms within. We laugh on the outside, while we ache on the inside. And after a while, this illusion of strength becomes heavy, because pretending is exhausting. Real strength is not the absence of tears, it is the courage to feel them. It takes far more bravery to admit I am hurting than to pretend that nothing is wrong. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is honesty, it is authenticity. And it is in that raw, human honesty that healing begins. Think about it. When you pretend to be fine, when you bury your emotions, you may fool the world, but you cannot fool yourself. The pain doesn't disappear. It simply settles deeper into your body, into your soul. It weighs you down until you are numb, disconnected from your own heart. True strength does not come from ignoring your emotions. True strength comes from acknowledging them, from sitting with them, from saying, yes, I am in pain, yes, I am human, and yes, I will rise again. The illusion of strength also keeps us isolated. When we pretend to be invincible, we close the door to connection. We rob ourselves of the support, compassion, and understanding that others could offer if only they knew what we were carrying. We are not meant to carry our burdens alone. By sharing our truth, by letting down our walls, we open the space for latte to flow in, for others to hold us, to remind us that we don't have to be unbreakable to be worthy. And yet, society often applauds those who stay strong, who keep going no matter what. But what is the cost of this applause? A lifetime of suppressed emotions, unresolved grief, and silent suffering. That is not strength. That is self-abandonment. So let us redefine what it means to be strong. Strength is the single mother who cries at night but wakes up to provide for her children. Strength is the man who admits he needs help instead of drowning in silence. Strength is the soul who dares to feel, to break, to heal, and to grow. Strength is not about holding everything in. It is about finding the courage to let it out. The honest truth is this: pretending may protect your image, but vulnerability protects your soul. And when you allow yourself to be real, you step into the deepest kind of strength, the strength of authenticity, the strength of being fully alive, the soul's hidden cry. There are moments in life when the heart breaks so deeply that no words can capture it. We sit in silence, not because we want to, but because the pain feels too heavy to explain. The soul begins to carry what the mouth cannot speak, and though no one hears it, the cry of the soul is real. It echoes quietly in the unseen, reaching places beyond human understanding. The truth is, silence does not erase suffering. Just because you don't say it out loud doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you hide it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. The soul remembers everything: the disappointments, the betrayals, the losses, the dreams that slipped away. These unspoken pains become like hidden rivers running through us, shaping who we are, sometimes without us even realizing it. And yet, there is something sacred about the soul's hidden cry. While others may overlook us, while friends or family may fail to notice, the universe never does. The divine hears what the lips never speak. God knows the tears that fall on your pillow when the world believes you are strong. In fact, the cries of the soul often speak louder in silence than the loudest screams could ever speak. But why do we cry in silence? Sometimes it's because we don't want to burden others. Sometimes it's because we fear judgment. And sometimes it's because we've been hurt before when we opened up. So we learn to close our hearts, telling ourselves it's safer this way. But silence, while protective, can also be isolating. The soul longs not just to cry, but to be understood. And when no one seems to hear, it can feel like drowning in invisible waters. Here is the deeper truth. The cry of the soul is not a cry for pity. It is a cry for connection, for understanding, for healing. It is the heart's way of saying, see me, hear me, know that I exist. And even if no one around you hears, the cry still matters. It is valid. It is powerful. It is part of your humanity. Sometimes the soul's hidden cry becomes the birthplace of transformation. In silence, you begin to listen more deeply to yourself, to God, to the lessons hidden in the pain. You discover strength you didn't know you had. You learn empathy for others because you know the weight of unspoken struggles. You begin to grow, not in spite of your silent cry, but because of it. So if your soul has been crying silently, know this: you are not unseen. You are not unheard. Your silence has meaning. Your tears are sacred. And your hidden cry has the power to guide you toward deeper healing, deeper truth, and a deeper connection with the one who always listens, even when the world does not. The presence of the divine. There are times when we convince ourselves that no one sees us, that no one notices the heaviness we carry, that our pain is ours alone to endure. But the deeper truth is this: even in your silence, you are never truly alone. When no one else seems to hear, the divine does. When the world overlooks your suffering, the universe leans in closer. Every unspoken tear, every quiet ache, every hidden cry is witnessed by a presence greater than anything we can comprehend. In the stillness of the night, when your pillow holds the weight of your tears, God is there. When you walk through your day pretending to be fine, the divine sees beyond the mask. You may not voice your heartbreak, but heaven feels it. You may not share your pain with anyone, but Spirit carries it with you. This is the mystery and the beauty of divine presence. It is constant, unconditional, and attentive, even when human ears are not. So often we mistake silence for abandonment. We think that if no one is responding to our pain, then we are forgotten. But silence is not absence. The divine is not a distant force. It is as close as your breath, as near as your heartbeat. It hears the cry of the soul before a single word leaves your lips. Sometimes the reason we feel unseen is not because God is absent, but because we are too weighed down to notice the subtle ways He shows up. A gentle breeze on a hard day, a song that speaks to your heart, a stranger's kindness at the moment you needed it most. These are whispers of the divine reminding you, I am here. The presence of the divine does not always remove the pain, but it transforms it. Instead of breaking you, it begins to shape you. Instead of isolating you, it begins to draw you closer to the source of all comfort. Pain becomes not just suffering, but also a pathway, a way back to God, back to trust, back to the understanding that you were never meant to carry your burdens alone. And here is the profound truth. When you feel most abandoned, you are often most held. It is in your weakest moments that the divine surrounds you the most tenderly. Like a parent watching over a sleeping child, God sees you in your silence, even when you cannot feel Him. Your heartbreak may be silent to the world, but it resounds in eternity. So when you cry in silence, lift your heart upward. Whisper your pain, even if no one else will ever know. Because the divine hears you, you are not invisible, you are not forgotten. Your silent cry is sacred, and it reaches the one who has always been with you. The strength born in silence. At first, silence feels like weakness. It feels like defeat, as if keeping your pain inside somehow means you are powerless. But over time, something remarkable begins to happen. In the quiet moments, when the noise of the world fades and only your heartbeat remains, you begin to discover a strength you never knew existed. It is not the strength of fists or shouting voices. It is the strength of endurance, of resilience, of a spirit that refuses to break no matter how heavy the weight becomes. When you cry in silence, you are not simply suffering. You are being refined. Just as fire purifies gold, silence has a way of purifying the soul. It strips away the illusions, the masks, the false beliefs about who we are supposed to be. It forces us to confront our deepest truths. And in that confrontation, something powerful is born. We learn that we can survive heartbreak. We learn that we can stand even after we've been knocked down. We learn that our value is not diminished by our pain, but deepened by it. This is the paradox of silent suffering. While it feels like it is breaking us, it is actually shaping us into stronger, more compassionate beings. The people who have cried the deepest, who have carried pain in silence, are often the ones who show the most kindness because they know what it feels like to be unseen. They are the ones who listen without judgment, who comfort without condition, who love without limits because they understand. And this strength born in silence is not loud, but it is unshakable. It is not boastful, but it is steady. It allows you to move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that if you survived your darkest nights, nothing else can destroy you. You become unbreakable, not because you never fell, but because you rose again every single time. Even more, silence teaches patience. It teaches you how to sit with discomfort without running away. It teaches you how to wait for healing, how to trust the timing of life, how to endure storms until the sky is clear. And when that healing finally comes, you appreciate it more deeply because you know the cost of waiting. Strength born in silence is also spiritual strength. It connects you more deeply with the divine because in the moments when no one else heard, God did. In the moments when no one else understood, He carried you. This quiet strength becomes a testimony, not only of your resilience, but of the power of faith, the power of endurance, the power of love that never lets go. So if you find yourself crying in silence today, do not mistake it for weakness. Understand that you are being shaped, refined, and strengthened. One day, you will look back at the nights you thought you wouldn't survive and realize those very nights were the foundation of the strength you carry now. Your silence is not the end of your story. It is the soil where your strength takes root, transforming pain into purpose. Pain is never meaningless. Even the silent cries you thought no one heard carry within them the seeds of transformation. The nights you spent broken, the moments you held your heart together with trembling hands, the tears you wiped away in secret, all of it has the power to become something greater. What once felt like the end of you can, in truth, become the beginning of something new. When we suffer in silence, we often believe it isolates us. But in reality, it connects us to the deepest parts of the human experience. Every person alive has known some form of pain, but not everyone chooses to transform it. Many bury it, hide it, or let it harden them. But you, with your silent cry, have the opportunity to turn that pain into wisdom, into compassion, into a guiding light for others. Think of the stories that inspire you most. Are they stories of people who never struggled, who lived without scars, who never wept? Or are they stories of those who fell to the ground and still found the courage to rise again? It is through brokenness that beauty often emerges. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof of your survival, proof of your courage, proof that you walked through fire and refused to be consumed by it. Transforming pain into purpose means refusing to let your suffering go to waste. It means taking the lessons hidden within your heartbreak and using them to build a life of deeper meaning. It might mean being a source of encouragement to someone else who feels invisible. It might mean creating, writing, or speaking from your truth so others know they are not alone. It might simply mean choosing to love again, even after your heart was shattered. That too is purpose. Choosing love in a world that once broke you. But here is the key. Transformation does not come from denying your pain. It comes from facing it, honoring it, and then allowing it to reshape you. Every silent cry has the potential to water the soil of your soul, producing growth you never imagined possible. Where there was despair, resilience grows. Where there was heartbreak, empathy blossoms. Where there was silence, purpose begins to speak. And this is perhaps the greatest miracle of all. Your pain, once hidden in silence, can become a voice of healing for others. The same places where you once felt most broken can become the very places where you help someone else find their strength. The same silence that once felt like emptiness can echo with purpose, with testimony, with hope. So do not despise the nights you cried alone. They are not wasted. They are not meaningless. They are part of your becoming. And when you choose to rise, when you choose to transform, your silent cry becomes not just a mark of pain, but a beacon of light. Through you, others will learn that silence does not have to break us. It can awaken us. We began this journey by acknowledging something so many of us live with but rarely speak about. The silent cries that echo within our hearts. Those unspoken tears, those hidden aches, the moments when no one else seems to notice our pain. And yet, as we have discovered, silence does not mean weakness. Silence does not mean abandonment. And silence certainly does not mean our suffering is unseen. Through this reflection, we uncovered the illusion of strength, the mask we wear to convince the world we are unbreakable, when true strength is found in honesty, in vulnerability, in the courage to admit, I am hurting, but I am still here. We then looked at the soul's hidden cry, that sacred language beyond words, which reaches the divine even when no one else hears. And we recognized that in our silence, we are not invisible. Our tears are heard by the one who never leaves us. We explored the presence of the divine, realizing that God's nearness does not always appear as a dramatic rescue, but often as a quiet whisper, a subtle comfort, a reminder that we are never alone. And from there, we saw how silence itself can become a crucible of strength, shaping resilience, teaching patience, and planting seeds of empathy within us. Finally, we embrace the truth that our pain, even our silent pain, can be transformed into purpose. That what once broke us can be the very thing that equips us to heal others. That our hidden suffering can become a testimony, a light, a source of encouragement for those walking through their own silent storms. So, what does all of this mean for you here and now? It means that your tears, whether spoken or unspoken, are not wasted. It means that the heartbreak you thought would destroy you is actually preparing you for a greater strength. It means that your story, your real, raw, unpolished story, carries meaning far beyond what you see today. If you are in a season of silent crying, let this be your reminder. You are not forgotten. You are not weak. You are not alone. There is a purpose to your pain, even if you cannot see it yet. And one day, what you endured in silence will become someone else's hope, someone else's encouragement, someone else's proof that healing is possible. Life is not about avoiding pain. It is about transforming it. It is about allowing the broken pieces of your soul to be remade into something more beautiful, more compassionate, more alive than before. And when you choose to rise, when you choose to believe that your silent cry has meaning, you awaken not just yourself, you awaken others too. So carry this with you. Your silence has been heard, your tears have been seen, and your journey, no matter how heavy, is guiding you toward the fullness of who you are meant to be. Let your silent cry be the seed of your awakening, and let your awakening be the light the world so desperately needs.